Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Day and I Daily number 400, part 2, where we're looking at a special topic, the idea of thinking like a competitor and trying to eliminate dem assumptions because they truly are the biggest curse of all time. We took a chance in part 1 to introduce the 30 Circles game, which is awesome. It sort of reveals how subtle and powerful these assumptions can be, and introduce 3 types of competitors: a pro, a scrub, and the faux pro. And we want to avoid being faux pro, because I know that there are no scrubs watching this right now. Ding! God, you're sexy. All right, cool. I would like to begin with a riddle that I hate. Riddle me this. You'll notice that these are simply 2 abstract, evocative images to get you thinking about the riddle. Cool. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Felicity. Felicity lived on the 12th story of her apartment, and every day Felicity would get in the elevator, ride it down to the 1st story, step out, and go off with her day. Every day when Molly came back, Felicity, every day when Felicity came back, she would take the elevator to the 6th floor, and then she would take the stairs the rest of the way. Why? Now, obviously, if you're watching this on the archive, I want to give you some time to ponder it. And the perfect timing for this pondering is for me to look over at the chat and to wait for the lag of the video stream to catch up and see what some of the answers are. People. Yeah, well, a lot of people know because obviously we're crowdsourcing with 7,000 people watching live. But here's the sort of question, here's the sort of riddle that really, really bothers me. Oftentimes, the sort of conversation that people will have is to go, well, maybe is it that the elevator is broken and can only go to the 6th story button? And I say, no, it's not that. And they go, well, maybe it's that there's no button for 12, and she has to go to the 6th floor because that's the only thing there's a button for. And it's like, no, that's not it. And then I tell you, the answer is that Felicity is a young girl. She's a schoolgirl who can only hit the 6th floor button. So she has to take the stairs the rest of the way. And the person goes, oh, I get it. Oh, I see. She can hit the 1 because it's low and the 6 because it's as high as she can reach, but the 12 is too high. And the riddle teller and the riddle listener kind of get this, oh, that's cool. That's kind of a clever riddle. No, it's fucking not. That riddle sucks. Let me tell you why I hate this riddle. Why? Because the solution was me hiding arbitrary information from you. I, as the riddle teller, just decided that the answer was that Felicity was a young girl. Sorry, I keep calling her Molly. In the original riddle, she's called Molly. But as a running joke, I like to use Felicity. I just decided that. There's no reason it couldn't be that the buttons are broken and only 6 and 1 work. There is no reason that there couldn't be a giant bear cat monster that's at the top of the elevator. And it only comes out at night. And she has to sneak past on the staircase because it's down the hall and she doesn't want to fight a bear cat snake. It could be that. There's no reason it couldn't be that because it's arbitrary. In fact, the only person that's clever is Felicity, who still figured out the way to minimize her amount of walking. Hell, Felicity could be wanting to exercise. I could have even called Felicity a midget, but it's incredibly politically incorrect, right? There's this stupid amount of arbitrariness to the riddle. And the problem is that these come up a lot in a ton of different forms. And what this ingrains in your mind is that knowing secrets or having the hidden knowledge is the equivalent to skill. I love this image of the bear with the A+, because this is honestly how a lot of school systems feel in terms of the education system. Now, I'm going to be asking a lot about the Cherokee Indians on this exam. And I was, okay, and they figure out all this stuff, and they ask a series of arbitrary questions that are presented throughout the lecture, or throughout the previous lectures, and they say, A+, you got it, you nailed, you had the secret information, the hidden stuff. Or, this comes up in chess. Look at this. There's a 4-move checkmate. Look at this. Shh. Don't tell anyone. All right. There's a 4-move checkmate. Don't tell anyone. This is the secret to success. If this gets out, it's going to be a big problem. Oh, cool. I know how to play Protoss. Oh. I have a secret. I have a secret. It's the secret 4 gate. I figured it out. All right, now, obviously, the big problem with all of this is that it's almost trick-based, that there's a trick. Kind of like what you even see probably when you're surfing the internet, so you see one of those ads that says, lose 100 pounds in 45 seconds. Here's the 2 tricks that you need. Oh, all I need to do is tricks. It's not about tricks. And here's the problem with this assumption. If you fall into this trap where you're just saying, aha, I know the secret, I need a 4 gate. Or, excuse me, I want to be politically correct, it's a quad gate. And it suddenly stops working. You know what your brain instinctually says? I have to find another trick. What's the next trick that I can do? Well, okay, well, you know what? I can hide some barracks over here. All I need to do is find the right trick. And then when this strategy doesn't work, well, crap, maybe I need to do a 1-1-1, and suddenly someone blocks that. And you go, well, God, what's the trick? The whole problem is that you thought that all you needed was the key insight. All you needed was that little bit of knowledge. Absolutely not. No, not in a million years. That's totally wrong. Knowledge and knowing secrets is not the same as skill. Oops, wrong direction. Process is the key. Process and building and understanding over time is what the big key is. Doing and working your way through, not having some little trick that you're just trying to pick up as though it's the key. And let me show you what happens when you start to focus on process and allow me to really blow your mind with my MS Paint skills. Excellent. Here we go. Guys, check it out. Check it out. Here's the start. This is S, and this is E for electricity. No, this is the end, right? Start and end. And here's a victory right along the top. Bingo! And this is us at the start of the game. This could be the start of a game of StarCraft. This could be you embarking upon a new business venture and trying to find out ways to be profitable. This could be you trying to figure out how to be a good author. Whatever it is, here's the start, and here's your victory at the end, and here's you starting to work along. Well, let's try this. Let's go off in this direction. Boom! There we go. There's a loss. A big red line. The X is us dying, and the red is the path to death. So, okay, so what if I veer off in this direction? Bam! Oh, God, that didn't end up working very well. But we keep trying, and boom! We end up finding something that works. And this might sound like, oh, hey, day 9, wouldn't this be equivalent to saying this bit of knowledge is wrong? This is bad knowledge, but this is good knowledge, and now I know 3 things. Well, what happens when you have process is over time, as you're exploring, as you're building this understanding, you do some more things down here, you do some more things here. I've boxed these zones. These are our zones of understanding. Here we have 2 things that work, and in between are a couple of different possibilities. And you know what our intuition tells us? Here, around this area is where goodness lies. Around this area is where badness lies, and I don't want to do this. Our process has allowed us to make judgments about this entire sphere. We no longer need to ask ourselves tricks. I mean, this could be something like a 3-gate with blink build, with a delayed robo. This could be a 3-gate blink with a fast robo. And everywhere in between, we're kind of saying something like, I think variations on getting 3 gateways and blink should probably be pretty effective. Something like here. Meanwhile, Mothership rushing is kind of having some problems off to this right side. The important thing is that you go through the process. And what one might then kind of step into the second, I think, reasonable thing to conclude is, well, shit, you know what? I guess I just need to have all the knowledge. I need to have all the knowledge. I need to be able to know what happens down here and here and here and here and here and here and down here and here and here and here and here and here and all the way up here, and then I can draw my circles perfectly. And this is where you fall into this trap of a second very common assumption, that a very broad variety of knowledge is skill. Right here, I think a lot of people know what this is. I think a lot of people know why this is. Bum, bum, bum. The greatest game of all time, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I said it. MVC2, baby. In this game, it is a 2D fighting game. Doesn't matter whether you know what that is or not. Let me explain a little bit about it. Here are 56 characters. I'm pretty damn sure that is right because I love this game. The way it works is that you select 3 characters. 3 of the 56 characters. Upon selecting a character, there are 3 types of characters, or 3 types of attacks that you can assign to that character. So, in other words, each character really kind of has 3 sub-characters. There's the anti-air cable, there's the projectile-type cable, and so on and so forth. So let's try to calculate how many that is. That's 56 times 55 times 54 divided by 6 times 3 cubed. That's a lot. The number gets big fast. There's so much possibility that I'm talking about that you might think, well, shit, I really need to know a ton of stuff. I need to know how to play all these characters. I need to know how to deal with all these characters. Or even in a more complex sense, I am going to show you some of the gameplay. Excellent. Here comes some of the gameplay. This is one of my favorite videos ever. This is Clockwork versus Sue. Ooh, I better mute that or else you're going to blow your ears out. Here we go. Have full screened it. By the way, anyone ever know why I played under the ID Strider Doom for so long? It's because of this team, Strider Doom. My favorite team in MVC2. Now, let me just explain a little bit about this, just for any of you who have not seen it, to highlight the complexity of this game. So here we have what are called point characters. You can see their health kind of hidden under here, where it has, by Capcom USA. We have the health of Strider, and then we have 2 more health bars. Well, what does that mean? Well, throughout the course of the game, you're going to have the character who's out on point, and when that player presses a button, one of the characters who is not in will come out and do a move and then jump out again. That's called an assist. So let's go ahead and just talk a little bit about what's going on. Right at the start of the game, you're going to see the assists hop out. These are the characters that are on point, as we'd say. Ready? Go! And boom! There's Psylocke, the assist character for Magneto's team. Here's Sentinel, the assist character for Strider's team. Alright, cool. I don't know why anyone actually made a game this fast, but of course, because Capcom gets it, they do. Now, what we're seeing is Strider go ahead and do some crazy combos. He's calling up his super, and here comes the Strider Doom trap, where he casts his extra special super. And then he's going to call out Dr. Doom, who throws rocks from the other side. Oh my god, we see some very nice dashing going on by Magneto, but he can't quite seem to break through. There's a lot going on. There's a ton of stuff going on. Also, this game's really old. I think it was released in 2000 or 2001. I've been watching it forever. I still watch videos of it to this day because it's so cool. Now, I'm sure as many of you who have never watched this game are thinking, geez, what on earth is actually going on? This will probably be your feeling. Oh, look at that. Ooh, caught Cable, the assist character. So brutal. You'll be thinking to yourself, geez, you need to know so much. There's so much fast stuff going on. This is probably what it feels like to watch pros play SC2. You're just thinking, holy crap, how is it physically possible to keep track of all that stuff at once? I need to have tons of knowledge. OGS MC and Nada must, know this ridiculous, stupid, encyclopedic amount of knowledge, and the way that I have to get there is to sit down and memorize an Encyclopedia Britannica amount of information. But it's not this breadth of knowledge that is the key. The correction to this assumption is that depth beats breadth any day of the week. And all you have to do is have some excellent core ideas and focus on those. So what this video is going to introduce... Ah! Ah! Sorry. I should have muted YouTube. Forgive me. Forgive me. I apologize on behalf of your ears. R.I.P. headphone users. Oh, that's so good. I'm seeing the viewer count tumble as we speak. All right, cool. So here is what is called a spiral sentinel trap. So I can explain it pretty shortly. Here is Spiral. She's awesome. She has 6 arms. She is going to summon a bunch of knives, and she's just going to launch them across the screen. And she's doing it in this cool pattern. Here's the assist. Here's Sentinel launching out 3 rockets. And watch her send knives. Knives up, knives down. Knives up, knives down. Knives up, knives down. I mean, obviously, executing it can be tricky. Having the timings down can be hard. But you know what? From my understanding point of view, knives up, knives down, knives up, knives down, knives up, knives down. Pretty damn simple of an idea. Now, what I want you to do on this time is to focus on this top left bar. This is Magneto's health. Because now you will see the point of this whole attack. Okay, so Magneto's health heals back up to full because this is training mode. But watch his health as these knives come across. A little bit, it's just chipping away. Chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. It's the whole goal of this spiral sentinel trap. Is to keep him trapped, blocking forever, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. Now, we've had a little bit of understanding. And what I'm going to show you in this video, that's muted because fortunately I'm smart this time, is we're going to see how having this little simple goal and understanding it with a lot of depth is what's actually going to help us get this win. Or at the very least help the Spiral Sentinel player, Duck Vader, get the win. The one thing I also want to note is apologize for the angle because this is hardcore and filmed in an arcade live. Bam! Yeah, and this is about as low quality YouTube as you'll get. But no big deal. So we see knives up, knives down, knives up, knives down. Here's some complexity going on. Spiral is trying to avoid this big scary laser from Cable, which he does so pretty successfully. But, oh, did a throw, and here are the knives coming out again, just trying to get this pattern started. Sure, there's depth going on here. The Spiral Sentinel player, Duckdo, he has to, or I hope his name's pronounced Duckdo, I know that's his name. Sure, he's going to have to know a lot of subtle timings of when to block, but it's all based around this strategy. Oh, God, he's eating it hard. Whoopsie daisies. Accidentally close the video because I'm awesome. Yeah, right here, we see he's eating it hard. Everything's going wrong. But the instant we see the Strider, or the Spiral Sentinel player, hopping back to normal, here's the trap. There it is. Oh, beautifully executed. We had all those complex, little, tiny, subtle things going on. It wasn't that in this situation you want to suddenly be aggressive, in this situation you want to suddenly be passive, in this situation you want to know about this special switch out, hyper cancel, or hell, in this situation you need to switch teams. It's variations on this basic idea. Look, there Spiral is dodging out of the way, and here she is, once again, throwing some knives. Throwing some knives, really simple, throwing some knives. Throwing some knives, throwing some knives, throwing some knives. Cool. Now, if that was confusing at all, don't worry because I have MS Paint. Here's the problem with thinking in terms of breadth of knowledge. I need to know every one of these little spokes coming out. I have to start at the beginning and I have to understand how all these different paths work and how crazy different everything is, and I become a big confused red question mark. Here is the way that real strategists think of things. This blue line in the center represents our goal, our strategy. This is like that Spiral Sentinel trap we just got done looking at. And what happens? Well, follow my mouse. Here, we're getting veered off course. Well, you know what? We're going to bend it back. Boom. Right back to where we were before. What about this little path? We get bent back. Well, let's use the red move. Boom. To come back. What happens if we get way veered off at the start? Well, we're going to come back to the center again. Boom. We're done. We keep trying to pull back and explore our one idea in depth, as opposed to exploring it in great breadth. I feel like a lot of people kind of have this intuition when they play fighting games. I'm going to play just one character for a while until I get used to that character. I'm not going to try to learn all 10 different characters. That might be too hard. You're focusing on depth. That's a good intuition. But that whole breadth thing is so easy to sneak up on you, where you think, well, maybe in this StarCraft 2 game, I want to try to do an air play. Maybe I want to try to do a fast immortal play. And you're switching and switching and switching and switching and switching instead of just picking one idea and fleshing it out, and again, doing that process to help build out the understanding. Cool. We've talked about two big assumptions. The whole idea that first I have to know secrets. Totally got rid of that. We realized we need to think about process instead. The second big thing, we need to have a huge breadth of knowledge. We need to know all the things. You need to have a huge depth of knowledge, because a player who is excellent at one strategy is an excellent player. A player who's decent at 100 strategies is a decent player. You want to strive for that excellence. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, I have another riddle. I have a riddle, you guys. Continuing on with this daily. And for the record, we're not anywhere close to done because, damn it, this is the 400th episode. Aw,